In this video, I'll explain the most frequently asked interview question, that is internal working of HashSet and internal working of HashMap. Both I'll cover in this video. When I attending interviews, the most frequent time I got this question from the interviewer. So that is first we can see what is HashSet. So HashSet implements set interface only, so it won't allow any duplicates, and also it won't preserve the insertion order. So what does it mean? Like, it does not preserve insertion order means, if we are inserting elements into the hash set, while retrieving, we won't get the elements in the insertion order. In what order we are inserting, we won't get the element while retrieving. So that is what we will tell. It does not preserve the insertion order, and it allows one null value. So why means hash set internally uses HashMap. So HashMap will allow one null key only. That's why it will also allow one null value. So when we try to add elements into the hash set by using set method, that is set.add method, it will be internally treated as map.put ram comma present. Here element that we are inserting will be treated as a key, and dummy object will be created as a value. So after that, first it will find the hash code for that particular key by using hash code method, and then index will be calculated, bucket index will be calculated based on that hash code. Here two things happening. So first we have to find the hash code for that particular key, and based on that hash code, particular bucket index will be calculated. For that we have the separate formula. So after bucket index calculated, then directly it will go to that particular bucket and insert the element inside that bucket as a node. Okay, then collision in hash set. So this is the important concept. If multiple keys generates the same index, it will go to the same index and insert there, right? So there is a collision will happen because there is already element. Again we are trying to insert one more element, there is a collision will happen. So that we have to handle. We can handle that by using linked list and red black tree. But here we have like condition. Before Java 8 and all, we are using linked list only to handle all the collisions. So but it will reduce the performance, because if multiple elements inserting into the same bucket means like it will reduce the performance, right? If we want to search particular element, we have to iterate through the complete linked list, right? So it will reduce the performance and all. So that's why we put one they put one condition. Before Java 8 and all, they will use the linked list to handle the collision, but after Java 8 they introduce a red black tree to handle the collision. But the condition here is like, if less than 8 elements was there, still we can use the linked list only. If more than 8 elements inserted inside the same bucket, then this linked list will automatically convert it into the red black tree to improve the performance. So that is the concept here. And how after this interview question, maybe interviewer will ask follow-up questions like how HashSet prevents duplicates and all. So that I will explain here. How HashSet prevents duplicates. So internally HashSet uses a hash code and equals method only. So normally it will calculate the hash code for that particular key, and based on that hash code it will calculate the bucket index, and directly it will go to that particular index. It will store there, right? So if same key we are using, like multiple duplicate values we are inserting, means for the duplicate values we will it will generate same key only. It will calculate a bucket index, we will get the same bucket index. It will go to the same bucket, right? And then internally it uses equals method. It will compare the value, current value, with the already existing value. If both are equal, it won't insert the new element. It will keep the old element there. So it in this way it will prevent the duplicate elements. And why HashSet does not maintain the insertion order? So HashSet, how we are inserting elements? By using hash code and by using bucket calculation, right? So by using bucket calculation, we can go to that particular index. We are storing the elements there. So here we are not maintaining any insertion order, right? That's why it won't preserve any insertion order. So whichever the collection framework using hashing mechanism to store the elements, it won't preserve the insertion order. And one more question, like why HashSet allows one null value? So HashSet, what I said before itself, HashSet internally uses HashMap only. Since HashMap allows one null key, HashSet also allows one null value, right? So that is the concept here. And coming to time complexity, for HashSet, like while adding, removing contains and all, we will be like dealing with the hash code and the particular bucket. We will go to that bucket and we are inserting there, right? Here we are not traversing anything. So time complexity will be O of 1. This is the best case scenario. So why this time complexity will be O of n? I said, right, by using hash code and bucket index calculation, we will directly insert the value into the particular bucket instead of traversal. So time complexity will be O of 1. And worst case scenario, if collision occurs, like multiple elements will generate the same hash code, means in same bucket elements will be created as a linked list, right? If we are try to search some element, we need to traverse linked list completely. At that time time complexity will be O of n, but this is the worst case scenario. But after Java 8, this will be handled using a red black tree, right? So that time complexity will be somewhat reduced to O of log n. And next question, like internal working of HashMap. This one also we will cover here. Like HashMap internally uses array of buckets. So before I said, right, HashSet also uses array of buckets only. Then HashMap stores the data in the form of a key value pair. Before we are in HashSet, we said like it will be internally using HashMap. So here HashMap store the data in the form of key value pair. That's why in HashSet we created the dummy object. So features, first we can see what is a hash map. So hash map will allow the duplicate keys, and the duplicate values also allowed, and one null key is allowed. And insertion order is not present because hashing mechanism we are using to store the elements, right? So whenever we are using hashing mechanism to store the elements, so then that collection framework will not preserve the insertion order. This is the note point. And internal working. So when we insert data into the hash map, first before itself, before also same right, in HashSet, same like that here also first hash code of the key is calculated. Based on that hash code, bucket index is calculated and data stored in that bucket directly. If collision happens before Java 8, we will be using linked list to handle that collision, and after Java 8 we will be using red black tree to handle this collision. Same like that HashSet only, it will also work. And duplicate keys in the hash map. This is the follow-up question interviewer will ask. If duplicate keys are inserted, like same hash code may be generated, right? So then equals method will get triggered internally, and it will compare the keys. If keys already exist, then the old value will get replaced with the new value. Here we can see the difference, like in hash set and hash map, in duplicate related thing they are differing. In HashSet, it won't allow duplicate value. If we try to insert duplicate value, if already value is there, then old value only it will keep and new value will not get inserted in HashSet. But in HashMap, old value gets replaced with the new value. Okay, this is the main difference between the HashSet and HashMap. Instead of that, internal working of both will be same. Before I explained theoretically like how HashSet and HashMap will work internally, now I will show you practically. So see here, HashSet internally using HashMap only. So whatever the element we are inserting into the HashSet, it will be treated as a key in the hash map, and value will be like it will use the dummy object that is a present here. So when we add the elements like by using add method, it will first calculate the hash code by using hash code method. So based on that hash code, bucket index will be calculated, and it will go to that particular bucket based on that bucket index, and it will insert there as a node. Okay, so how it will handle collision? If multiple keys generates the same hash code, D and E generates the same hash code, then obviously same bucket index will be generated. So it will go to the same bucket index and it will insert the element in the form of linked list. So it will create a linked list chain here. So this one, like before Java 8, it will be created the linked list, but after Java 8, it will, here I shown, it will be converted that linked list into red black tree for better performance. So I'll explain you in that hash map. So see here, in hash map, it will be like stored the elements in the form of array of buckets. So in each bucket, the element will be stored in the form of nodes only. So same like HashSet only, hash map also will work internally. Just I'll explain clearly for you. So when we try to insert the value, here we are using the key value pairs only in hash map. So key will be index number something, value will be here, it was there. So based on that key, first index will be calculated. So first hash code will be generated. Based on that hash code, index will be calculated, and it will go to that particular index and it will store the data in the form of node. So if multiple keys generates the same hash code and same bucket index, and it will go to that same bucket, it will create a linked list. So this one, like before Java 8, it will create linked list if elements like here 3 only there, so it will be handled using linked list only. If more than 8 elements were there, after Java 8 they introduced this feature like red black tree. So linked list automatically converted into red black tree for better performance, because if we want to search something, we have to traverse complete linked list, right? So it will reduce performance. For that reason, after Java 8, they introduced red black tree to improve the performance and to handle the collision. And I said like before, in HashSet and HashMap will allows one null key and one. So in HashSet it will allow one null value, and in HashMap it will allow one null key. I said, right? So that null value and null key will be inserted at the position 0, like index 0. It will be inserted.